Now, I'm going to tell you a story. Now, these are ones that Nanny would have told me now, right? And that's, you know, like a raheen.
Yeah.
And you know, like you wouldn't meddle with a raheen. And do you know why you wouldn't meddle with a raheen?
Because the fairies?
Yeah, they said the fairies live in them, right? Now, there was a raheen at the back of, it's about 2 fields away from our place. And if we went to go into it, Nanny would always tell us you not to bring back a stick out of that place. And she'd even check you when you'd be coming out of it. She said to you, no, make sure you check you don't have any thorns on you or anything like that. Because if you took anything out of the raheen, they said the fairies will come after you. So you don't touch that. Whatever's in there belongs to them and you don't go in there. Now you can walk around in it, but you can't take anything out of it. And Nanny would have had stories. Classic ones was that if you cut down sticks and took the sticks off it, the sticks would go black in the fire, they wouldn't burn. They'd hop out of fire. Or men would, classic stories would be the lads would be cutting them down and maybe their saw would break or maybe the digger would break down. One man told me a story, a man once called Ned Plunkett in Bunclody. He said him and a friend were cutting down sticks. They went down to cut down sticks on his raheen, and he said he was cutting away the saw the bushman into the tree up in the bough, and he looks up and he can see his house on top of the hill on fire, and they dropped the saw and ran up to the hill, and when they got up as far as the hill, the house was perfect. There wasn't anything out of it, there wasn't a flame of it, there wasn't a sign of a fire. So the boy said, right, that's a sign, we're not supposed to go near that. Same thing happened Nanny at home as well with Dickie. Dickie apparently was asked to cut sticks off her raheen, and there was another man, a local man, cut sticks off it, and Daddy wouldn't cut him, but the man who cut him down, cut the sticks off him, got a load of bad luck. But that was the story that we had, that they got bad luck for doing that.
What happened if a stone got stuck in your shoe?
Well, if you found it, you'd bring it back and you'd throw it back into the raheen, right? Oh, that's what you do. But there was one classic story, and this is supposed to be a true story now, right? There was a fella, and there was a field, and he levelled it over. He got a tractor and the digger, and he took the whole field over, the out of the field, and levelled it. He said, I'm going to have a right big lump of produce. I'm going to the best field now. And the odd thing is, lads, that you leave them there, you don't touch them, because there are circles in the field. They've been there for hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years, right? And you don't touch them. And no matter the amount of land that you'll get from it would be not that much really in the scheme of things for a bit of peace of mind. The best thing to do is leave them there. But this man anyway, got rid of it, ploughed up the land, harrowed it, and he grew. I think he was growing a beet in it, and beet are growing like sugar beet, not like they're like big turnips. And he grew them. It started the spring, and he went to snag him, to bring him in, to cut him, to pick him one day. And he said they went out to the field when they went to cut him. And you know what he said?
What?
There was a man that I recorded, and he told me this. He said every one of them hopped out to turn themselves out. The whole field, all the sugar beet had actually out of the ground themselves, right? And the word damned it, because it said that they were all ruined, right? And another year, same thing again. He went to put a crop in it, right? And when he went to put a grain crop in it, same thing again. Not the wheat and the barley, whatever the crop would be, it would grow, but it'd get to a certain stage, and some kind of a disease would come. Nothing would grow. And in the third year, he said he was going to grow spuds in it. Same thing again, he ploughed it. He said he was going to definitely get spuds out of this. He didn't know what was wrong with it. And he ploughed it, and he harrowed it, and he made them into the finest of drills. You would not get as nice as the land, right? And he planted lovely early spuds before the 17th of March. That's probably he planted spuds that day. And he planted them. And he watched them growing. And he actually brought in sprinklers, the early sprinklers. It was down near the river, near the Slane. He was somewhere around Claham, this was. And he pumped up and he put loads of money into this. Now he said, I'm going to get the best crop ever. And he got water. Another way to see in Brittany, you see the big things spraying the water. You see them in Ireland as well. You see them for lads spreading them on fields. And basically, anytime there was a dry spell, he kept the spuds water from the river. And he had the finest lads. people were actually coming to see this crop of spuds. They were flowering early. They were absolute perfect. And he says to himself, he says, told you so, the whole took another raw on a pile of rubbish, he said. This is it. Now this was his third year. He lost the first year, he lost the second year, and he put a load of money into the third year to get the crop right. And to be fair, you go on the side of the road, you saw this, you'll see the finest of spuds. And come the 29th of June, St. Peter and Paul's Day, he said, right, I'm going to get in now and we'll root these spuds. And he had a little old tractor, back in the 60s, he had a little old tractor like mine and a little scrubber in the back for digging out the spuds. It was modern machinery at the time. Hired everyone in, all the local lads in, everyone was there, and he was going to turn the first spuds on St. Peter and Paul's Day, the 29th of June. And he started up little Massey, little 35 like mine, going down through his drills. The yoke was scrubbing out, it breaks up the drills, throws out the spuds, and he kept throwing them out. And everyone went in with their hands and their looking, and all they could pull up were the spuds were only the size of marbles. They were this size, look. Tiny, smaller than marbles. And he said, what's wrong there? And he checked it, and they all said, what's wrong? And then he said, go on to another drill. Scrubbed them out. And the stalks were massive. There should have been spuds in that, lads, the size of 2 tennis balls. You know, kind of big fresh spuds, big British queens. Not a single spud. He went down to the middle of the field, scrawled about, not a bit. Next corner field, another corner, the other corner. And the end, there was an old woman said to him, I said, there you have it now, he says. You cleared off that little old raheen there for that extra bit of land, and so that's the boys getting their own back on you now, he says. I says, you'll never ever grow anything in that field, I'm telling you, because what you took, you'll never get anything back. And she was right. The man went into difficulty after that, but financially, and he took him about 10 or 15 years to get back normal, right, to get back his money. And the only thing he ever did in that field, and you can still see that field by the banks of the Slane in Erclehammon on the left hand side as you're going towards Ballycarney, all you'll see is you'll just see the grass in the field. And that field was never ever a crop planted in that field, because he shouldn't have meddled with the raheen and he shouldn't have meddled with the fairies, and they got their own back on him. Now that is a true story. Do you like that story, Eppie?